Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel Ray and this is Rachel Ray Fiber Arts and it's been a really long time. I'm back for another WIP parade. I'm so sorry to those of you who have subscribed to this channel and were expecting me to update. Life has been lifing, so I have not made any flosstube updates and I might talk about it at the end. Let's just see how long this video gets. I have plans to edit this video with all the possible statistics that anybody might want to know, but I know from experience that me and my friends just like to hear each other talk about cross stitch, and so that's what we're gonna do. I'll get it here at the beginning. My pronouns are she, her. I am an American and I live in Ireland. And have done for over a decade. It's crazy how time flies, right? And I really love to cross stitch. I also diamond paint and I have a main channel. It's Rachel Ray Craft. I used to do this, the flosstube updates on my main channel, but I realized, most of it is diamond painting. So if you're into cross stitch only, it might be a bit overwhelming for you. So if you are into diamond painting, make sure that you check out my main channel as well. I had some really attainable goals last year. I think looking back and watching my end of year WIP parade for 2023, I knew what was coming this year, and that was a big move, a huge lifestyle change, and lots of travel. So 2024, I knew was going to be quite busy. So I did only set myself a couple of goals and I did attain them. I did reach them. I said I wanted to start Stitch for Pride with these 20 stitches, and I did, and I got all the way to May. I think I completed May. We'll look at that in a minute. We did the marathon for missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. And we raised on my channel 900. I live above my brother-in-law's restaurant, and they always pick just the perfect time to do the recycling. Okay. You and I, on this channel, we raised $900 for Marathon for MMIW. That was a couple of weeks where we did a charity drive and I worked on my projects. Instead of picking just one project to do, I picked multiple projects and stitched for 100 hours. And I did reach my 100 hours, which was fantastic. I did it just before or just during Stitch North. And I have highlights of that if you want to go check it out over on my Instagram. And I have all those links down below. Hashtag whip the whips. I'm always whipping the whips, okay? But last year, 2024, I should say this year because it's a 2024 WIP parade, but I'm filming. Today is the 8th of January. I'm sorry to confuse anyone. So in 2024, I made it a goal of mine to not really start many new things, because in 2020, I started so many things and it was overwhelming how many new starts I got. And I'll talk about the change of my stitchy mindset later on. Right now I just want to kind of tell you all the goals I had. So get rid of my WIPs, get through the WIPs. WIP Go. Playing WIP Go. I did play WIP Go until I stopped stitching. And then I realized that instead of putting pressure on myself to stitch when I didn't want to, I really just needed to focus on the things that were truly important for stitching when I didn't feel like stitching. My stitching bug left the building in June, just whoop, right out. Part of that was because I had fitness goals for myself, and I had gone to a personal trainer. I had gone back to the gym. I was doing really, really good. And then I went to America and Canada, and when I came back, things just were up in the air, and it kind of went away. But I've carried things with me, and I am continuing to try to strengthen myself and to get to the place that I want to be in my health journey. Everybody uses the word journey, but it really is. It's not an overnight fix. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Anyway, you're not here for that. Just trying to get healthy. That's all. We had a couple of health stuff scares, so talk about that later. Round robins. You may or may not have heard this term before. Basically, we got a group of 4 people together, myself and 3 others, and I am in 2 of these groups where you pick a project and divide it into 4, and then each person in the group will work on one quadrant of that piece. So you only have to stitch one corner. The rest of your group will stitch the rest of the project for you, and you get a fully finished, or not a fully finished, but a finished project back at the end of the year or at the end of whatever time limit you set for yourselves. I joined 2 such groups, and it was so much fun, but I did make sure that that was the number one thing that I finished when I got those projects. So when I had problems getting my stitchy bug back, I would go to the round robin, work on that, and then when that was done, send that off. And then sometimes I would go into stitching, and sometimes I would be like, you know what, I don't think I want to stitch right now. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go do another craft. I set myself a goal. This is I have two more things. So 24 hours of cross stitch. I think I participated in most of the 24-hour cross stitch weekends. I never hit 24 hours though, but it was fun, and I continue to do it because 24 hours of cross stitch weekends. This is run by Jen Lee, Quirks and Stitches. Jen Lee on YouTube. If I can, I will link her down below. She started this with her mom, and I really enjoy their videos. And I would love to have someone close to me to do a 24-hour cross stitch weekend where we just stay up for 24 hours. Sadly, I believe that I am the only person within God knows how many miles or kilometers that cross stitches. So it's just me and you. And this year there are 4 weekends, and I have it in my phone, actually, the little PSA, I suppose. But I do plan to do the 24 hawks this year. So we've got, actually not this weekend, but next weekend is the first one. So who knows, maybe I'll do a check-in 24-hour hawks weekend thing in January. It's also the 25th to the 27th of April, the 18th to the 20th of July, and the 17th to the 19th of October. So pop those in your calendar. Follow Jen Lee, Quirks and Stitches on Instagram and YouTube, and enjoy. It's so much fun. I get lots of progress done. And I put it in my stories so that it can be seen. And then I said, for starts, 3. I allowed myself some caveats to this 3 new project rule. I wanted to start a project at Stitch North because I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to go to Stitch North again. It was fabulous. It's a retreat hosted by Off the Grid Needle Arts, who is Caroline from Evertotes. It's in Brampton, Ontario, and I'm in Southwest Kerry, Ireland. It's very far away. It was an amazing weekend. I had so much fun. I was a bit overwhelmed, but it was so much fun. I wanted a project to memorialize that weekend. So I allowed myself one new start for that. One new start from my friend Jessie, Mislaid Pages, Jessie's Burb box, which this is last year's box. I have this year's box, 2025 is coming. Don't mind the door, that's my husband. Stitch for Pride, obviously. The 2 round robin projects that I needed to start, and Nordic Holiday. The Nordic Holiday Countdown Style that Caroline, Off the Grid Needle Arts, hosts with Modern Folk Embroidery and Roxy Flasco. Outside of those, so outside of my new start caveats, I had 0. So outside of my caveats, I literally did not start any new projects. I gave myself permission for 6 new starts. I did not go past that. I did not start anything new other than those pre-planned starts. And I'm really proud of myself for that, because 2020 Rachel would have started something every day. And I did nearly every day, at least in May. Anyway, we'll get there. This video might be long. Do you have a drink? Do you need to go to the bathroom? You could pause me. I'm going to have some coffee. Side note, I think I'm lactose intolerant. About a month ago, I started drinking almond milk instead of cow's milk, and my stomach feels a lot better. So I didn't know how big of a difference it would make. It tastes funny though. I'm still trying to get used to the taste. You know, you go 38 years drinking cow's milk and then suddenly you realize that it's actually causing you massive problems. So just if you feel like you might be, give it a go. A month later, I feel way different. I feel so much different. It's weird. Okay. Also, side note, I apologize for the sniffles. I'm really sorry. I know that it turns people out. It's flu season. I had the flu for over a week, and I'm going to try to rein it in. I'll try to edit them out if I can. I apologize, but we all got sick. It was a whole thing. That's why it's the 8th of January and I'm making this video. I didn't want to wait this long, trust me. All right. Let's start with finishes. Let's start this video with finishes. The finishes that I had for this year and my fully finished objects. I'm going to do, this is going to be a really weird format, I know, but you know, I'm just going to pull off the pile, and there's one that I don't have with me that I'll have to insert a picture for. I hope well, technically I'll have to show you all the round robins too, but okay, here goes in no particular order. I have my almost fully finished object of Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. And I say almost because I haven't done the sewing thing on the back yet. This is one of my prized pieces for the year, and it's in the cheapest possible frame I could find. I'm trying to save money right now, long story, but I love this piece. This is so beautiful. I love Halloween stitching. I'm obsessed. I like spooky things. In school, I would have considered myself a little bit of a goth. And this kind of stuff speaks to me. So if you're into the Halloween stuff, then you're in the right place. But I don't just do Halloween or anything. This one, I decided on doing this orientation, and I'm really glad that I did. I like the letters of the other one. There's a horizontal version. that's really big, gorgeous Gothic letters, but I went with this one. I especially love the font that Lindy Stitches has created. It's beautiful. I love it. So yes, this is Dracula's Confession. It is not all called for. In fact, I think this is my own color palette. It's been a little while, and I think I have, if you go back to last year, the beginning of the first half of the year is when I finished this, I think, or was it in the summer? Anyway, I know I have a video about it. Maybe I talked about, I don't know, there's some glue or a sticker or something there. Sorry. I talked about this at length, and now that it's done and in a frame, I don't remember. But it is beautiful, and it lives up on the top of this bookshelf. Next, I need my little thingy. Recent finish. And also, terrible thing happened to this. It's not ironed. It's Trick or Treat by The Drawn Thread. And the church bells are going. Okay. There's a funeral. Okay. When they're slow like that. All right. So Trick or Treat. I'm trying to get it so that you can hear me. This is by The Drawn Thread. I had this kitted up by the Silver Needle. I don't know why, but thank you to the staff of the Silver Needle. They helped me because at the time that I kitted this up, there's a dog hair. I could not get the dinky dies for this project anywhere. I think this was a late 2020 kit up. This is Dirty Belfast, and it is stitched mostly 1/2 on this 32 count, which makes the stitches look a little bit more sparse, which is on purpose. And you can see the specialty stitches in the hat. I did make a mistake, and I'm not going to tell you where it is. But there's specialty stitches in the candy corn as well. But it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I need to find the right frame for it. And then I'll have it as one of my, one of my decorations for Halloween. Coffee break. Next up is something that I must put over my face because I don't have it here. I'll have to insert a picture. I finished Hilda's Brew by Michelle Benny Stitchy. I don't know why that project took me as long as it did. It's not that big. And I left off the border in the end. It was a fun little stitch. It was me experimenting with these fancy flosses, extravagant floss that I got in a box at some point. I think the name of the floss was Mojito. And it was a really beautiful floss. I really liked it. And I enjoyed working on it. I believe that that project is stuffed into my journal. Ooh, we should talk about my journal actually. Okay, so here is my journal. This journal I actually got from, Michelle did a thing with a journal maker. That's where this comes from. But I have decorated it over the years, and it's been really fun just trying to figure out what to do with the pages and putting in like happy mail and crazy little projects that I really enjoy. There's a lot of Michelle in this because Michelle really inspired me to keep working on this journal. This page, I don't think it'll show you, but it lights up. This year, I believe we did this. So I've got some happy mail, some cards from friends, a little unicorn. I was a patron of a couple of artists and I popped their work in there. This is to memorialize when we raised money for the seals in my local seal rescue sanctuary. And Nessie is here. And flip over a couple pages. I left some room here. I've got like really special cards and my super small that Stitching a Tea made for me. What else did I put in here? I've got more ephemera. Oh yeah, and then I've got some small finishes. Let's see. This was a gift. Oh, there's floss in here. What's that from? I don't know. We'll put that over there. Here she is. I knew she was in here because I want to put her into my journal, but of course I'll have to iron her and get her framed up nicely first. So yeah, when I have small projects like that, I will put them in. Oh, look. Here it is. The journal maker is Twisted Rabbit Creations. Very cool. All right, so that's the journal. Right, let's move on to the fully finished FFO, fully finished objects. I have two. I spent the money that I had made from YouTube and the money that I had gotten from the Buy Me a Coffee to help me frame these pieces professionally. I found someone an hour away. They're called, if you are also in Cary, they are the Quality Framing Shop in Tralee, and they're fantastic. I can't believe it. I can't believe I found someone who would frame embroidery or cross stitch that's within an hour of me. So here's our first one. I'm really sorry about that glare. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is the Nutcracker Parade by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I have just a plain white mat with this bevel in it. I don't know that word actually. I don't know what that's called, but there's like this beautiful framing divot and it is very pretty. And this is just a regular, it's kind of a cheaper frame, I'll be honest, but I wanted it professionally done because this piece means a lot to me. I think James's father had passed away by the time I started working on this, but all of the other parental figures were still with us. And I remember stitching on this with my mother-in-law in the room and her making wonderful comments about it. And it felt good. It felt good. It felt good to be able to share like in that moment and have the memories of her enjoying watching me work on this piece. So I got it framed to remind me. And yeah, I'm glad I did. So in case you're wondering, the back looks like this, and there's like a little checked with, checked by, and then someone's signature so that they are standing behind their work. And I guess if there's a problem, theoretically you could go to them and be like, this is not right. So, and then this one, are you ready for this? Okay, this one. I am over the moon with this piece. I don't know how to make it, I don't know how to say this, but I'm really proud. This is my Dark Queen of the Sea. This is Dark Queen of the Sea by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I splurged on this piece. I wanted the museum glass. I wanted the special frame. We decided not to do a matte because of the way the fabric is. I wanted more of the fabric to show. You can see her beads and that gorgeous treasure braid. Those pearls, absolutely stunning. I can't see the camera. There we go. I completed her in 2021, and she was on my hanger. I have a hanger of finishes, and she was on the hanger for a very long time. And I knew that it would cost a lot. I didn't know how much it would cost. It did. There's a foam riser along the inside so that the beads do not touch the glass and the pearls. There is still dog hair in it, and I'm okay with that. That's going to be a memory that is passed on for eternity because this is never coming out of this frame. I am beyond thrilled that she is finally finished and framed and on my wall. And she is going to, at the moment, she lives above my stitchy spot in the living room, but once our house is fixed, she will live in the hallway, probably opposite the bathroom, so that, you know, it's kind of like you come out of the bathroom and bam, she's right there. And I love it. I love that piece so much. So those are my finishes. Do I have more? I don't think so. Oh, the round robin pieces. I apologize if the camera shifted. I realized that I was doing verbal diarrhea and it just wasn't coming out right. So round robins, I am in 2 round robin groups. The first group that I'm going to talk about is Rogue Round Robin, which is me, Michelle Bendy, Pocket Roddy, who is Stephanie, and we have Heather, who is the Imperfectly Perfect Stitcher on Instagram. 3 of us have floss tubes. I hope Heather makes one because I want to see Heather's projects. But for this group, I started Ink Circles Wildflowers, and it is gorgeous, and I will show you it in its fully finished form when it gets back to me. We just wrapped up. We just finished. Everybody's projects are finished and on their way to each other. I enjoyed all the projects. I worked on Michelle Bendy's mandala that she made from a Patreon chart of Tracy Horner's. She put the 4 together, and then for each quadrant we got to pick our own colors. It was really fun. So I did a colorway that I called Irish Fields. That was great. Then I got Steph's project, which was the comparatively small red ship of life. I have a dog named Luna, and she likes to bark sometimes. There's nothing there, baby. No, there's nothing there. The comparatively small red ship of life is a mini version of the bigger one. And that one genuinely did take me a while to do. I think it was because of the way that we were choosing colors and I wanted to make sure that I did it correctly. And also these projects, I had to stitch backwards from the way that I stitch. I realized that I think I am the weird one and I stitch backwards with the top leg in the wrong direction, or however it is, the embroidery guild would be coming after me. But I stitch for pleasure. I don't stitch for competition or for prizes or anything like that. So anyway, ma'am, come here. So I did that one, and the last one that I got was Heather's project, and that one was the piece called Mother Maya, and it is huge. That took me a month, a little more than a month, because I got it in December, started in December, and December is a very, very busy month. I barely stitched on anything else. I don't think I did stitch on anything. Oh, no, I did. I worked on another project, but it was 2 projects, and I really tried to focus hard on Mother Maya. These all are paper charts, and I find it very difficult to work on paper charts. So it took quite a while, and I'm just going to call that my hindrance. My hindrance is when there's a paper pattern involved. Anyway. My second round robin group, we called ourselves the Incredible Ink Circles Round Robin Group. That has Christy, Dr. Christy, who I'll have all their channels linked down below. Round Robin Group down in the description, so you can go follow them because they have their own channels and things like that. Stitchy Nati and Whitney, we all chose our projects, and I think we kind of picked smaller projects, really, in comparison to Mother Maya and the Red Ship of Life. So we have my piece, Forest Path, which I will show you soon when it gets in the mail. We had Elemental, Dragons, Water, and Fire. Water I just received, and Fire I have not yet received. And Christie's project, which was Chartrace Labyrinth. I hope I said that right. I don't speak French. I have done that project and sent it on. And so you will see this year, you will see my progress on Water and Fire Dragons, and super excited to get those done. So those are my round robins. So I did finish my quadrants of those 2 projects as well. Those are all of my finishes. Well, actually, those are not all my finishes. I have a finish that I will put on the screen. I did a secret stitch for Jessie, my friend Jessie, Mislaid Pages. They are a fabric dyer, an online needle workshop, and one of my best friends in the entire world. And there was a group of people who got together and decided that Jessie had gone through a really, really rough year, and we wanted to do something to show them that they were loved. So we stitched birds in appreciation, and I stitched a bird as well. My secret stitch. It was very fun. Okay. Shall we? I'm trying to decide how to structure this now, because I have to, I have a project in the other room. That's okay. We'll get there. I have all my WIPs here, but I wanted to show you. I'm going to do in no particular order. Embrace the chaos. If you don't like chaos, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I am going to show you everything, but I'm going to start this video with my projects, my WIPs that I have made progress on since my last video. So if you watched my last video, you will have seen all of my WIPs. This way, you don't have to watch the whole video if you don't want to. But I am planning on staying here pretty much all afternoon and sharing my love of cross stitch with you all. So it's up to you how long you stay. Let's do that, and then I will incorporate the new WIPs into that, because I have had new starts this year. As you know, they're over here. I'm sorry, I keep reaching, but everything is kind of all over the place, if you can imagine. Okay, the first thing that I started this year, I think, my first big start. If it wasn't the secret stitch, then it was this. And I think I can just hold it up. This is Stitch for Pride by These 20 Stitches. And, oh, sorry. Here's where it was. Sorry. Here's where Stitch for Pride was in June when I did my last update. And here it is now. I literally have just finished the motif, and that's May complete. I am woefully behind, but it is a gorgeous piece. I talked at length about it ad nauseum in the last video, but I wanted to update you all and let you know I have gotten 2025's Stitch for Pride fabric and the chart. I did not get the floss pack. I am, unfortunately, due to my geographic location, I am really limited in how much I can get from the States. So I'm just doing what I can to support the people I can when I can. And I'm not going to start it immediately, but I wanted to have the stuff in case something happens and I blow through my projects. Oh, no, I need my book. That's why I wrote everything down. Something else that I worked on since the last, I will have to go in the other room here in a minute. Since the last time that I checked in with you 6 months ago was Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And I'll put the picture here on the screen so you can see where it was last time that I showed it to you all. And this is where it is now. Gosh, I hope you can see. So I have completed the witch for the most part, not completely, but I have done a lot of the witch and I finished the cauldron completely. This is going well. There is a mistake in her head, and I'm going to work around that. I'm going to make sure that I remember that there's a mistake in her head. Don't count from her head. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow is a huge chart, and when my friend Heike, Stone Cold Coffee Crafts, please go subscribe to her flosstube channel. She is going to make a comeback, and she is going to bead her Miss Cherry Blossom from Mirabilia. So if you need help with beading or tips and tricks and things like that, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified when she makes a video, because I have been waiting for months and I have been begging her for months to make this video, especially since I draw close to a finish on that project myself. Anyway, we are working on that together as well once she starts it, and I know she's going to fly right past me. So I am trying to finish a block this year on that project. And I think you'll notice I'm not talking about the project. If you want all the stats, either I've put them on the screen, or you could check out last year, or technically last year's video, my WIP parade from the last time. And that has all the stats on the fabric and stuff. And if you don't see anything and you don't feel like watching the other video, just comment. And as soon as I can, I will reply. This next one is my Epic Gen 1 Pokemon Cross Stitch by Lord Libidin, the extended version. Except I'm not stitching the background because I dyed my fabric to be that exact color. So this is where I am. And we got quite a bit done in the second half of the year. I hosted a charity stream on Twitch, and I have money. We raised $689 for Child's Play over 2 streams this year, which is quite a bit of money. So thank you all so much. My goal to raise for that particular fundraiser that I'm doing, the Gotta Catch 'Em All sale, is $5,000 US. So we are currently we are like a hair's breadth away from $3,000 raised. And I'm stitching on this project as a way to try to raise more money. So I know it doesn't look like I'm very far. Technically, the number on Pattern Keeper says I'm 20-something%, but that's because it's pretending that the background is all filled in. So this is definitely not 20% of the design I have to stitch, but I'll take it. I'll take it. There's a lot of stitches in that. It's huge. It's 140, if I remember correctly, it's 141,000 or something like that stitches. Crazy. And the other ones are in the other room. So let me go grab them. Okay. I apologize that this is not ironed, but again, this is my current work in progress. This is the one that's been on my stand for the last 3 stitchy sessions. I've gotten 2,000 stitches and her more than 2,000 stitches in just a little bit of time because I love her so much. Let me show you. This is Miss Cherry Blossom. This is where she was in my last update 6 months ago. And so now I'm going to count today as the end of the year. This is where she is. And honestly, she got so much love this year. I have it in my Notion, and I believe that I had something like 7 or 8 days with her at the end of this year. And you can tell, I really filled in the skirt. I did make some counting error at some stage. I had to kind of go around to fix it and isolate that problem. It's not a big deal. Then when I came back to this project after finishing Mother Maya for my round robin, I started at the orange, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get the orange out of the way because orange is not my favorite color, but I did want it to be orange. And so I came in and did all of this. There is a mistake. I'm not going to point it out because I don't think that you can tell. And no, it is not this dark spot down here. I think I covered it really, really well, actually. And, I'm okay with it. So I think that from a viewing distance, you can't really tell, and, it's all good. So yes, this is Miss Cherry Blossom. And I think, now, move this down a little bit so that that white background can really pick up this gradient effect. She's going to be standing on top of the purple. So I'm definitely, when I go to frame her, I will have quite a bit of border around her. Quite a bit, like 2 inches at least around the whole thing, because I really want to show that gradient off. I could have started her like 1/2 inch or 1 inch lower. I started in the middle. But yeah, she does need beads. She does not have any beads yet. And she's currently at about, I think I just hit 74% last night. So really close to a finish. Really, really close. There are 20,000 cross stitches in this piece, in case you're wondering. And I think I'll go ahead and talk about it now. The reason this took me so long is because originally, this is a paper pattern. As you know, all Mirabilias are paper. So are Bella Filipinas. And I am starting to believe that I may just have a hindrance. I don't want to call it a disability. That's a really silly way to put it. But if it is a paper pattern, I am more likely to make mistakes. I am so slow. I can go at about 1/3 of the speed that I can with a digital pattern. And so I have made the decision that if there's a paper pattern that I love and I want to stitch, that I'm going to digitize that pattern, because the time that it takes to chart the entire paper pattern into wind stitch will in fact help me later down the line to be able to stitch at the speed that I find enjoyable, without getting overly frustrated and making hundreds of mistakes. I'm talking mistake after mistake, and it is so frustrating, and it makes me not want to stitch. And the whole point is that it is fun and relaxing, right? The moment that this was digitized and I started working on it, I was able to do 500 stitches in a sit down session. Like the night that I picked this up again after Mother Maya, I had literally finished the last stitch of Mother Maya that had taken me a month to do. Paper pattern, probably, I want to say maybe 700 stitches. Not very much stitching in that piece in Mother Maya. I picked this up and I did 966 stitches that night. I don't know. It's so much easier for my brain. So make accommodations for yourself, if it makes things easier. But I'm not suggesting that people steal patterns or anything like that. Not at all. I am by hand going through and going to mark up my patterns and make a digital version for myself, not to share. And the next one for that to be done to is my Bella Filipina Gaia, probably just as soon as I finish this project, because she is, we'll talk about plans later, but she is my focus. One of my focus pieces, I have 5 focus pieces this year, and absolutely getting this one done for sure. Okay. And then lastly, since I saw you last, I started a new project. I need this actually. Which is the 2024 Nordic Holiday Countdown by Evertote, Modern Folk Embroidery, and Roxy Floss Co. And there is a bit that you cannot see, because it's on scroll frames. I put this on scroll rods so that I would not be able to stop. I am on day 16 of 25, so I don't have much left. I need to pick it up and finish. I have made a mistake in the skirts. I think there's a little doodad in the middle, that little zigzag is supposed to be red. Whatever. It's pretty. I like it. And I love watching this grow. And I have a highlight on my Instagram for this project where at the end of every day I will post the final picture. It's kind of sad that I didn't pick up larger scroll frames, but I think my other scroll rods are in use. The other side bits. This is my smallest one. But this project has been lovely. I got the box. You can order yours. I'm sure they'll do more on Evertote's. Oh, Evertote? Evertotes? Anyway, I'll have a link down there. They sell the box in spring, and you can get the pattern, the fabric, and the floss. You can get the pattern and the fabric, but not the floss. You know, there's lots of options. I did the full box as my birthday present. I had to wait a long time to get it. So I got the whole box. I got the actual floss that is called for and all that. It was a big splurge, but I really enjoyed this project and I will complete this. This is definitely going to get finished. What else do I want to say about it? This is a 40 count linen. The 40 count glacial or glacier? Glacial, I think. The box. And yeah, I'm still working on it. So I will keep you in the know about that. Okay. That's everything I've worked on since I last saw you. It's not much, but it's something. I did not stitch a lot. So I think in this next section, I will show you all of my other works in progress. We're going to go as quick as possible. But first I'm going to break and get some coffee. Right. Okay. The sun is now coming out around the corner, around the mountain. So I turned off this light. Less distracting. This piece, I'm going to start with WIPs that I don't know if you've seen. If you're new, hi! I'm Rachel, and I liked starting new things, and I like trying new projects, and one of those is beaded embroidery and beaded cross stitch. So let's look at a couple of those. This one is a rainbow, and it's from a store on Amazon called All About Embroidery UA. And if you can see, each of those little dots is where a bead goes. And I haven't gotten very far, but it is beautiful. And it's really fun to work on. It's just very time consuming. So yeah, I haven't touched it in years. It's still on a scroll frame. I probably should take it off but like every time I look at it or touch it, I'm like, oh, I should work on this. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is a project that is not good for travel. It's not good to take with you anywhere because you have to really set up the desk area and not move it around. So I'm going to pop that there for a minute. But I bought that at the start of the war with Ukraine, and I wanted to show support. So I bought it, and someday maybe I'll finish it. Maybe. This is another piece that I have stalled on completely. I haven't worked on this since 2019. This is beaded cross stitch, and I know that there are a lot of beaded cross stitch projects out in the universe. At the time, I had just gotten into diamond painting, and one thing led to another, and things got recommended to me on websites that were not legit. They did not pay the artist. So I don't advertise where I bought this. You can't buy it anymore anyway, even if you wanted to. I think there was a shortage of beads for many years. Not saying that to sound hoity-toity about it. I'm actually, I am in two minds still about this project and whether I want to complete it or not. This is a full coverage, massive beaded cross stitch kit, and it is a little cottage. Little. It's a very large cottage scene. And I have, the majority of my work is along the side. Here I have 2 rows. I have a page done right from right here up. And then on this side, I have 7 rows all the way up and down. So you can see the sky here. Oh, there's actually more than 7 at the tippy top. And then it comes down all the way. It says this is 310 by 250. Full coverage. This is definitely one of those projects where, so the way that I started it, I tried it multiple ways. I think I started it the right way where I rolled it so that I was working like this along the whole line. And I think that is the way you're supposed to do that. If you have these, or if you have experience with these, please let me know the best way, because I tried to put it on a frame. That's what happened here. I tried to put it on a frame, but obviously you can't. You have to be very careful because you can't crush the beads. And it's just made it very difficult to work on. Oh my gosh, I just noticed how much my dog hair got into it. That's another thing. So anyway, I have spent quite a few hours on that in the past, and it is a headache. But you know, what isn't? What isn't? But it's not as enjoyable to me as a regular cross stitch kit. And I have all the beads. They are sitting on top of my sewing kit up there. But it is huge. It's confetti heavy, and I don't like confetti. It was quite expensive. I think it was 80 something. And I think for that reason alone, I don't want to get rid of it. But it's not my favorite, and it's not something that I've pulled out since the last time I made a video about it on my main channel back in 2019, I think. So who knows? This is a someday kit. When I get my room, my sitting down to do crafts room. This is like the craft inventory room. But actually sitting down and doing the crafts, like in front of the TV where I don't have to put the thing away every day, that's not coming for a little while. So yeah, I'm gonna put these away and I'll be right back. All right, I've grabbed 2 other very large projects, but these are cross stitch. Everything else is cross stitch, I think. I'm not going to talk about knitting and crochet in this video because there wasn't much of that, and I don't really have it to show you, the things that I did finish. So if you were there, you saw it. If you weren't, it's okay. This is my chatelaine. My one and only chatelaine. Japanese Zen Moss Garden. And this is only the very center motif. Again, this is a project that's going to go in that special room that is always set up for these crafts with their own stands where they won't have to move. Can you tell I don't have children? These are my goals. These are my life goals. So yes, this project is a bear, but again, me and my friend Heike are going to do the same project. She's going to do hers on a light fabric, and I'm doing mine on black. And I have not touched this at all this year. I will let you know the projects that I have worked on this year, but I think you'll be surprised at how few I actually did. Unfortunately, this year was, I knew that this would not be a great crafting year for me, but it's okay. I'm just going to keep that open so that I know when I get to them. Next up, in a massive tote bag, is the gridded fabric, Soul the Rose, by John William Waterhouse. This is a full coverage. Is it max color? It's not max color. I think it's just ordinary. This is a gift from Michael. No, it is max color. Sorry, 125 colors. So, this project I did not touch this year. That is its full width. That is its full width. The chart that I got is the large print, so there's like 30, 40 pages, something like that, and they're only this big. But I did math, y'all. I did math. And I don't remember the exact math. Maybe editing Rachel can put some in. Of how my original goal for this piece was to finish this by my 40th birthday. That's in 2 years. And there's absolutely no way that I can do this in 2 years because I think I'd have to do 2 pages a month. Which I think if you look at this area here, these right here, those are 2 pages. So about the size of my hand every month for the next 2 years, I would only be working on this piece now. That was a bit ambitious of me. Even if I do 1 page a month, that still gets me to the age of 42. I believe editing Rachel will let us know for sure. I just want to do as much as I can when I feel like it. And sometimes when I feel like it, it's a whole row. But when I don't feel like it, it's not. The fact of the matter is that this is going to have to come out and come into play and be kind of a focus, but not the kind of focus that I'll tell you about later. My focuses for real are finishing certain projects this year. So, but this is going to get love this year. It must, because I have too many pages left. And this one made me think when I did the math a week ago or something. as I was researching for this video. And real talk, I want this on my wall, but I don't spend enough time working on it. So I have to make a decision, you know? Am I gonna focus on this, or am I just gonna get a print? Do you know what I mean? Do I like working on epic projects? 200,000 stitches? Do I want that? Like the Pokemon? I don't know. And I have so many more Heaven and Earth designs in my, like, that are purchased, that are waiting for me to start. And I think I've realized that I've had a transition from being a process stitcher, which means I enjoy the process and it doesn't matter if I finish, to being a product stitcher, which is where I stitch to have the thing done. So I feel like I've shifted. Something has changed within me. So yeah, I'm trying to finish my projects. I love my projects. I really do. Especially since I thinned them out. Okay, we're just grabbing from the bin now. I'm gonna move this bin a little closer to me. Those are my epic projects. Ooh, actually, let's go this way. This is another epic project that I started this year. And this one is not really a start. I mean, it is a start, but is it really? So I went to Stitch North, as I told you before, and met up with all of my friends there. We had such a great time. And to memorialize the occasion, I put one stitch, one right here. You can see the thread. One stitch right there is Namarie Tapestry by Modern Folk Embroidery. I got this fabric, this hand-painted Lord of the Rings fabric from Kaylee, thesewingshop.ca. Kaylee was there. It was great. I actually should have asked her to hold on to it so I wouldn't have to pay shipping. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I started it. There's a whole group of my friends, my online friends, who started this like the year before, and a lot of them finished. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I started it. It's 14,000 stitches, I think. It's a big project. It's a really big project. And I think I will have to categorize my projects into like small, medium, large, BAP, and epic. Epic being my Heaven and Earth design, and a couple others. Should I go this way? I'll go this way. It doesn't matter. This one, we finally have licensed stamped cross-stitch kits now. This company is called Oraloa. They are French and Canadian. There are two places that you can get their stuff, both in France and Canada, so EU and North America. And I started the White Fox. I have not worked on this since the first part of this year, I think. Is it on there? Yeah. So I did work on this year, but it's a stamped kit, so you can see all the stitches. Hello. Are those funky colors. They line up to a key, just like a regular cross stitch, and you get the chart just in case, you know, you're unsure, but it makes it go by so quick. This one I don't think I've worked on. No, so I'll go over it real quick. This is the first Burb box. Michelle's pattern from the first Burb box, which is Pocketbook Peacocks. using all kit stuff. I think she re-released this actually if you want to get the chart, but it's with different flosses, different colors. And that's where I got. This one is, it's a paper pattern, so it's gonna take forever, but this one is kind of my car piece for when, if my husband works 1 day a week up in Tralee, which is an hour away, and so sometimes I will travel with him, you know, to do shopping up there that, you know, there's stores that we don't have in the rural town that I live in. So if I need to go get clothes or something, I'll go up with him. And so I bring that with me, and that's like my car piece. So I want to finish that in the car. Oh, heavens. This is another very large project that I have not worked on this year. I worked on it last Christmas. This is Christmas by Renato Parolin. This is a paper chart that is funky. Okay. Funky. Is the key? Where's the key? It's like the key is hand drawn. I'm just going to show you a little corner. So, good luck if you can steal from that. It's like it's hand drawn. It's paper, and it's a really big piece of paper. And it's hard for me to read. So I'm going to digitize this pattern. Before I work on it again, so that it might be another year before I get around to it. I have a plan to digitize my patterns if I can't stitch this summer due to the renovations. But basically, I had started the top of the tree, and then I needed to know if it was going to fit on this fabric, and it does, but it only has that much space. So when I get down here, it's going to be kind of hard to stitch on. I might have to switch to like a little hoop or something, you know, to get those stitches, to get it nice and tight. I like the stitching area to be taut. And I'm using a combination of the called for DMC and some fancy flosses that I had in my stash. So I like to incorporate them when I can. Since I bought them, I might as well use them. Ooh. Since I bought them, I should use them. Again, if you have any questions about the fabrics or anything, just give me a shout in a comment, but I have talked about them before. I have. And I don't want to make this video too long. I think it's going to be about 2 hours at this stage. Next up is Mermaids of the Season Stitch Along by Bella Filipina. And this is on It's a Mystery 28 count by Be Stitch Me. I made a mistake. I'm not happy with myself that I made a mistake. So this has not moved. I really hope that I placed this at the right spot on the fabric. I have a lot of anxiety about this piece and I'm not really sure why, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish all 4 of the mermaids. I might just do the one. I did a center start, so she is centered on this beautiful fabric. It's absolutely stunning. But there's just a part of me that's just so scared. I need to get over it. I shouldn't have started this one. It has so many beads and special flosses, and kitting it up was just... It was expensive, and I really didn't need to, but it was their first stitch along, Bella Filipina's first stitch along, and I was like, all right, bet. Now I kind of wish that I had gotten in on the one that just released, but I could not afford that. Next up is another humongous epic project. I don't know if I'll ever finish. It's called Beautiful Secrets by Adele Sessler. The no background edition. I have not worked on this year. I did not work on that Sal either. And this blanket of fabric. Could use it to keep myself warm. This is a dyed fabric from Bee Stitch Me as well. I have her chin and her nose, and her neck. She is 200 and something thousand stitches. She is not a priority, so she will stay in the bag for a long time, I'd say. There'll be no movement on that for many years, I'd say, because I have other projects in mind. Okay, this one did not get touched this year either. This is Axel, the axolotl, which it's not actually pronounced that way. I only found that out this year. That's how we pronounce it in the Western world, but it's actually a it's like a sh sound. Hi, Linda. Honey. You sick of me talking to myself? This is Axel. And I do want to finish this. This is really close to a finish. This was a gift from Hannah, one of my subscribers, and she made a mystery countdown for me. It was really sweet of her to do that. The way that she did it with all of the little envelopes, and she parceled out a certain amount of stitches every day. It was just so sweet. Lena, please. Hi. Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? I don't think you do. I think you just want attention. Hello. Hello. So Axel could get finished. I mean, I'll have to write it down. What's close to a finish? In case I need some more encouragement. Next up is small burbs. I did work on this year. Small burbs by Ink Circles, and this is a digital chart, but it is super, super small. It is stitched really, really small. So unfortunately, it's slow going, but it's pretty. And I'm using flosses from Stash for that one. I don't usually feel the pull for this because of how small the stitches are. I hope you're okay with this fast format of looking at WIPs. There's so many of them. I'll have a total WIP count at some point. All right, this one. This one I want to finish as well. I think I have this on my... Do I have this on my 2025 vision board for finishes? If I don't, I should. This is the Cryptid Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher that came out in 2020 or 2021. I still have not moved on Ahul. I am still there, and I just need to power through this. I think a stitching Zoom with my friends might help distract me from my internal feelings about this project. But my dog really wants my attention. Hi. What? Can I get through this box and then we'll take a break? Is that okay? Let me get through the box. Go lay down. 5 minutes. Go lay down. Please. All right, so that is good girl. That is cryptids. Next, we have another one I did work on this year. Admittedly, when I looked at Notion, it said I only did 700 stitches, and I wonder if that's true. Because it feels like I did more than 700 stitches, but at the same time, maybe it didn't. Maybe I didn't record how many stitches I actually did. And that's another thing that I plan to change this year, is to make sure that I'm logging my stitches and taking pictures every day that I stitch. This beautifulness is Transpride Tapestry by D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. And this is a gorgeous unicorn, and it has lots of flowers all around, but I've started with a unicorn. And I might just do the unicorn. I think I'm good with that. If I can finish the unicorn, I will be happy. Because it is a lot of stitching. It's a lot of fill in, and even though this is a digital pattern, I want to free the floss. I want to free the fabric. I want to whip the whips. I would like to move on. Not because I don't like this project or anything like that. It's simply that I've had it for so long, and I want it to be framed. I want it to be done. I want to start new things or use the time, the allowance in my brain for more things, but I feel that way about so many of my projects. It is unreal. Okay, and last one in this box, and then we have another box to go through. This is on hiatus until I digitize her. But let me see. Oh, I think it's finally lost the fabric softener smell. That's sad. This is Gaia, the Earth Goddess, by Bella Filipina. I'm gonna have to struggle for a minute. This has been worked on this year, but not since, obviously not since my last update. And there's a tangle of threads there. Great. Fantastic. So she is a paper chart that I wish to digitize before I go further, because I don't want to make any mistakes, especially at the top. I'm worried about the top. She's beautiful. The detail is beautiful. There are beads. There is Krynic. She is stunning. I want to do her. I want her finished. I want her on my wall. I want her professionally framed. I'm going to save up my money and put her on the wall and gape and gawk at her. One of the reasons that I chose this project, which I don't know if I told you all, is because County Kerry colors are yellow and green, or green and gold, often represented by yellow. And this is green and gold. And I just think it would be a beautiful homage in a very secretive, like, undercover homage to living here. So I'm going to put these away and I will be back. All right. So back from our little break, and we're going to get through the rest of the WIPs, and then I'm going to move on to books. So I have books to talk about. So if that's not your thing, I understand. I'll put that at the end. So let's see. Next up, I did work on this in 2024, but not since the last time that I checked in, obviously. This WIP is The New Normal by Long Dog Samplers. And this fabric is Jessie fabric, Mislaid Pages. Isn't it beautiful? It is an opalescent fabric, and I'm just using 310 from the cone on that project. It's absolutely stunning. Love it. I don't think it will take a long time, but it's definitely worth it. That was a birthday start for me. 2021. Next up, I will take out, I'm just kind of pulling from the box this time. This one, oh, that's attached. This is a Barbara Anna called the Santa, the Dove, and the Key. Not very far. Did not work on that this past year. I don't really have plans to work on it this year either, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm open to these sorts of things. This one I did work on this year a lot. I tried to finish it, but it was not a great piece to take to a stitching retreat. Ooh, and it's really wrinkled. I'm so sorry about that. I just threw it in the bag. This is the 2022, okay. Frisian band sampler. That was it's like the Nordic holiday countdown. It was Evertoad, Modern Folk Embroidery, and Roxy Floss, except I used my own silks from Stash and my own fabric from Stash. I just got the pattern. No, almost, but not quite. One day I will finish it. I saw that a lot of people are doing this free the fabric or free the floss kind of challenge. And that's kind of what I'm going for this year. I'm going to keep whipping my whips. Try to get the number down a bit, you know. And also free up these lovely craft supplies because they are gorgeous. And this, I always get questions. This is a special skein of Silks for You that was for a box, so it was a one of a kind, and it is a stunning combination of colors. Excuse me. So one good thing about boxes is that you get these exclusives, you know? This one I did not work on this year, but this is a focus piece for next year. The Twisted Rainbow Sampler. I did mean to pull this out for Pride Month and I didn't. But this is my specialty stitch edition of the Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. And I'm using a Dinky Dye floss pack that Mislaid Pages has on their website. And it is beautiful, but it is, I have gotten the digital pattern to make it faster. This one, I decided to keep this after going through my whips last episode, 6 months ago. But I haven't worked on it. We decided that this would make a really great picture for my niece. This is Grazing Sheep by Doreen Jones, and when it is finished, it is going to be beautiful. This I bought, I had started it when it was just in a magazine, So I was using the magazine copy, and then eventually Doreen released this as a PDF, and I bought it straight away so that I could actually work on it. However, I haven't worked on it at all since then. But one day I will. One day. This is another focus piece for 2025. Where are you? This is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Chinese Zodiac Sal. And I worked on it this year. I got a lot of work done into it. And if I could do the same thing again this year with 24 hours of cross stitch, I will absolutely finish this piece. I think I worked on it for 5 or 6 hours this year on a 24-hour cross stitch run, and I got so much done. So I'm very happy with it, and I want it finished in 2025. So I know I can do it, but I will get to plans here in just a moment. I don't want to ruin it by skipping ahead. I'm going to ruin that moment. But it's a very cute piece, and I've had it for a very long time. So I would like to finish. Next up is another focus piece, which I did work on this year, have not worked on since the last episode, obviously. And this one, it's bigger than the project bag. One of my oldest WIPs now, Grimm's Fairy Tales Stitch Along. And this is Clouds Factory. They have a lot of really cute patterns. I modified some of it. It's really adorable. And it is almost halfway done. So if I can also focus on this on 24 hours of cross stitch weekends and stuff like that, I will get it done. The reason that I don't pick this up is because of the little motifs. I am not a little motif stitcher. I've learned that. I like big blocks of color. I don't like changing colors every 9 stitches. So, because I work in a Q-snap and my style of stitching means I have to flip the piece over and over and over and over, and it's just, you're flipping the project more than you're stitching, so it gets annoying after a while. So yeah, I don't like it. And I'm getting rid of a project that can go away. Don't want to talk about it. And then there's this one, a little bookmark that I started. This is my first linen project ever. Just a little tiny hummingbird and a highlighter spot. Oops. One of my oldest pieces. This was just a little kit from Michael's, I think. I know I can finish that. It's not even written down anywhere. The chart is horrible on it though. Okay, and that is it. That one is also kind of in timeout. Perfect. So those are all of my works in progress. Yay! We're done with that part. But stick around because I have to tell you about plans and goals and everything else. So plans and goals kind of go together, right? All right, so where are they? Oh, I didn't write down my goals. Okay, that's fine. I wrote down last year's goals and not this year. So this year, I'm going to put up a picture here so that you can see, I have a visual representation of the projects that I wish to work on this year and make either incredible progress or a finish. A lot of these have a finish. Gaia, I want to digitize and work on. I want to finish the bottom of that piece, at least by the end of this year. I want to finish Miss Cherry Blossom by Mirabilia. It is very close and it is a doable goal. I can definitely get that done this year. Twisted Rainbow Sampler is another one that I really just need to get a move on. It has been sitting for too long, just stagnant, not getting anywhere. It needs to get some work done in it. The Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries Chinese Zodiac Sal as well, like I said, it's close. It's like 50% done, and I can definitely push for a finish on that, as well as Grimm. I really want to get the Grimm's Fairy Tales done so that I can give it as a present for my niece. I want to put it in her nursery when the time comes. Of course, she's still too young to have a nursery, but these are projects that I would like to do to get out of my rotation. Not all of them, obviously Gaia and Twisted Rainbow Sampler will be here for a long time, but at least 3 of those projects can be finished this year, and they will be. They will be. That is my major goal for this year. 24 hours of cross stitch, like I said, I'm absolutely doing all of those weekends, provided that something else that's real life doesn't fall on those weekends. I will just be stitching and make the time, and also to take pictures and possibly make a video or 2 if that's something that you would like. Let me know if you like watching those videos, because I like watching them, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But WIPGO, I'm taking WIPGO out of the equation this year. I have seen some really fantastic plans with other stitchers on flosstube. Namely, if you haven't seen Crafty Emily's video, please go check it out, because her plans and her WIPGO is like an advent calendar. It's incredible. She's a really great stitcher, and she's so ambitious in her goals, but she actually does stitch quite a lot. So please go check her out and check out her WIPGO goals if that is a thing. This year, I'm not going to focus on WIPGO because I've tried for many years. I love the idea of WIPGO, but about halfway through every single year, I lose steam. And that's just a personal failing, I think, on my part. But stitching for me is like fun, not a job. So I don't like treating it as such. Also, once I'm completed with the Round Robin projects that I have from my incredible Ink Circles Round Robin group, I'm not going to do another Round Robin for a while. Unfortunately, the way that my brain works, I really prioritize those projects, and they took out a lot of my stitchy time. Then I lost, my stitchy bug, which meant that I was working on other people's projects more than my own this year. And I love people, but I need to get my projects done. So my focus is, again, this year, I'm not going to have any new starts. Actually, I'm not planning on any. The only one that I could possibly see myself starting would be a burb box start from Jessie's February box. But even then, I have 2 burb boxes. Oh, where is that project? There's a project I didn't show. It's called You Are Enough, and I don't know where it is. Darn. It can't be in here. No. No. Weird. I don't know where it is. Anyway, aside from Burb Box, I don't plan on having any new starts this year. 0, none, nada. Do not start anything this year, because I want to focus on finishes and I want to focus on progress. And I can't get any progress if I keep starting new things, even small things. But I did make a lot of purchases, and I will continue to support my friends and do purchases and things like that. There was a charity drive for, I think I donated to World Kitchen, or I can't remember exactly anymore. There's a charity drive, and there was a set of bookmarks. There's all these things, and I apologize. I have not been here in video form to tell you about these things, but I do my best to share them on Instagram. So if you're a stitcher that doesn't have Instagram, I implore you, please get Instagram. It's a great way to find designers, to find charitable causes, and all kinds of things. It's a great way for us to share our progress pictures without having to make a video update all the time. Sometimes that's a lot easier. But anyway, those are my plans. That's my goal for next year, is just to work through what I have, appreciate what I have, and get those finishes in. So if I can get those 3 finishes and get some really good progress on Twisted Rainbow Sampler and on Gaia, once I get her digitized, all will be right with the world. We'll see what other things I can do. Maybe I'll do some fully finished objects with what I've already finished. That would be nice. But this next year is going to be very busy. This year, 2025, when we moved into this house. Okay, we're transitioning. Are you ready? I'm going to talk about personal stuff, and then I'm going to talk about books. So stick around. If you don't want to stick around, I understand, but I am a person and not a stitchy robot. So I like to share things about what's going on, and like in this case, why I've been gone so long. We moved into our house. This is my husband's parents' house, his family home. This is where he grew up, this house. And unfortunately, when we moved in, we found out that the heating was broken. It was leaking. The pipes, the water pipes for the radiators, from the hot water system to the radiators in every room, were leaking, causing damage to the floors, damage to the walls, and obviously not giving us any heat. That was when we moved in February, and ever since we have been juggling a lot of paperwork, a lot of phone calls, a lot of, trying to get someone to get it fixed. And in the end, we've had to agree to basically a full home renovation. This is an energy retrofit, something like that. I don't know the exact wording, but basically they take your home and they upgrade everything so that the energy rating is higher, much higher, which means that you're putting less stress on the system. It's going to cost us a lot less in the long run to run our home. Our bills will be less and everything because it'll be insulated and basically like an envelope. But what that means is that, we're now going to be strapped with a mortgage that we were not expecting. It's fine, it's worth it, but it's a big process. I'm sure some of you know the process. This is our first home. This is our first time ever having to do this, and we were totally caught off guard. 100% caught off guard. I don't know what we're doing, but we're trying. But what it also means is that in a few months' time, when everything is situated and all the paperwork and everything is done, there will be builders, there will be chaos, everything has to go, like things have to be moved, everything has to be binned, and our whole life is going to turn upside down for a couple of weeks, if not like 2 whole months. Who knows how long it's going to take. But I have been sitting in the anxiety of this happening for many months, sadly. Really all I've been able to do since the summer is diamond paint, which has been wonderful to get back into. But sitting down and stitching, I do a lot of, I guess, introspective thought when I stitch. And so I found it really difficult to sit down with myself and have to think about all those things, and like my anxiety would just come out if I started stitching. So I turned to reading. I started reading at night before bed to turn off my brain. And a lot of people do this. I used to be a really avid reader, someone who voraciously read. My background is I'm an English literature major, and I am an English teacher, English as a second language, and I literally would never stop reading before I moved abroad. So in March, after we had moved in here and our stuff was everywhere, there was nowhere to put anything. We had to go through all of the belongings of his parents first. And we lived out of boxes for a long time. When we would escape, I would look for books. And we have a lot of books already, but, I was out looking for books, and I found the first book that started it all, which is Persuasion. I found this copy. It is the Adelphi edition, and I think this was, who knows, it looks like an early 1900s copy. I did look it up, but the spine looks like this, and it's gorgeous. You can buy the whole collection. I probably won't. It's been a really long time since I read Jane Austen, and I enjoyed the book. I did enjoy the book, but it did take a lot of brain power to get back into Austen. But when you do, and I did have to reread a lot of things over and over. I've been out of practice since I think the last time I really was voraciously reading was in 2018. So picking this up in 2024, I was like, what's going on? She's very funny. The things that she writes are very funny, but you have to kind of get into the mindset of Victorian, or not Victorian. She was Edwardian, right? Anyway, whatever. After that, I decided I didn't want to wait. I picked up a book that was on James's bookshelves, which is Ursula Le Guin's. Actually, no, I read a book before this. I read something else. It's on the screen. And then I picked this up because I love Ursula Le Guin, and unfortunately she passed away not too long ago. So I finally sat down and read Earthsea. This is not all of Earthsea's books, but I read this 4-book compilation. So A Wizard of Earthsea, The Tombs of Atuan, The Farthest Shore, and Tahanu. The Farthest Shore was an amazing book. Actually, they're all really good. Tahanu was also incredible. They are all individually very good. The Farthest Shore, whew, it almost made me cry. Okay. I'm just kind of picking these up as they are on the floor. 2023, I read Iron Widow, and I'm very happy to say that I did get Heavenly Tyrant. This just arrived. I haven't started it. If you haven't read Iron Widow, it's an incredible book. I'm not going into details about these books, really, because I'm not a booktuber, but this is action. Well, maybe not this one, but the one before it. Action, strong female lead, breaking the system, all that stuff. Really fun read. Let me go to the bottom of this pile. Oh, these are heavy. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. All right. What I want to say really sparked the getting back into reading and reading like 20-something books this year was at the recommendation of my friend Zach. He recommended that I read the book Jade City by Fonda Lee. I did not know that I liked fantasy mafia stories, but I really do, and I devoured these books. In fact, I think I was halfway through Jade City. Something happened, and I immediately bought the next 2 books. I was on my way back to Ireland from the States when that happened. I bought this one in the States, and these came from here. I was on the plane, and they were here basically 2 days after I arrived. And I really, 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 really liked this series. Another series, just like Iron Widow, with bi-representation, which I find very important. As part of the community myself, and part of that, if you have to label me. But it was really, the story is so intriguing. You've got politics, you've got families, you've got drugs, which is like a made-up drug. It's just so, it's so good, and it's not very spicy, if you know those terms. It doesn't have a lot of sex in it. It's really, it goes down the political rabbit hole and like the motivations behind characters and characterization and everything. And those are all things that I really, really love. And it doesn't bog down the story with, oh my God, my only reason for doing anything is because of a boy. Like, I'm done with that. Keep those romantasy novels away from me. I'm not interested. And that, oh no, hold on. Where did I go next? Next, as I was getting into these books, I was talking to Heike. Heike was really into sharing these special editions from Fairy Loot, I believe is the website. And I'm not a subscriber to, I don't do mystery books in the mail. That's a waste of money for me because I'm probably not going to like it. I have very specific, like, types of books that I want to read, okay? And she told me many, many moons ago about this special edition of Howl's Moving Castle. I've never read Howl's Moving Castle. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I'd never read it. Diana Wynne Jones, Howl's Moving Castle. It has a special double-sided dust jacket. Look at that. So cute. And this is the inner foil. I reached the maximum amount of filming time. This is the hard book and the spine. Look at how cute. Look at them right there. So it matches up with the outer dust jacket, kinda. And, you know, I don't just buy books because they're pretty and I want them on my shelves. I read it. I did take off the dust jacket when I read it. Trying to put it back on so you can see what I mean. So that is the center of this. Anyway, the story's different a little bit. Some things are the same, some things are different. But this is the original story and it is really, really good. And there are parts of the story that were left out of the movie that give this so much more depth. I actually want to read this again because of how good it was. It takes you on a bit more of a journey, and it lets you really enjoy the atmosphere that I think Studio Ghibli did a wonderful job of creating in movie form. And the whole time I had the characters from the movie in my head, of course, because I've seen the movie hundreds of times, but highly recommend reading the book if you've never read the book. It's awesome. This one, though, this is the Never-Ending Story. This is the prop edition. So this has metal, 3D things on it. It looks cool. It looks great. It is legible, and you can read the entire story. I can tell you that the movie ends I want to say, where does it end? It ends about right here. Maybe a chapter after this. Y'all, the rest of this book is a slog. It's not worth it. Just stop. Stop when you finish reading the stuff that happens in the movie. Don't burden yourself with the rest of this book. I should have DNF'd it. I should have said, I don't want to finish this. No, I slogged through it, and I hated it. It does have a good ending, but it is awful. Awful. There's a reason that they only did the first 150 pages as a whole movie instead of the whole book. It's crazy. You wouldn't even believe me if I told you. It's just, you can see for yourself if you like, but man, I'm going to leave that for last. All right, next one. These are really heavy, so forgive my middle-aged noises. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. This is one of my favorite series of all time. Thank you, Michelle Bendy, for bringing me back to this place many years ago. Many years ago, I was watching Michelle talk on her flosstube about books, and she was talking about how she was reading Lore Olympus. Now, do you know why I'm struggling? So Lore Olympus is a webtoon about the romance between Persephone and Hades. And it is obviously like a take on the myths, and the characters are so well fleshed out, and even the side characters in the myths and stuff, like the whole pantheon is recognized. And it became my mission to collect all of the books. This is not all of them, and I can't hold them anymore. I can't hold them anymore. They're too heavy. That is probably 35 or 40 pounds. These are wonderful, and you don't have to buy them. If you enjoy the webtoon, you can just read it online for free. But I wanted to support the artist because she does a really great job. Let me try to find a page. I don't know. There's going to be a special page or something in here somewhere. There's adult language, adult scenes, adult themes. It's not blatant, if you get me, in that kind of a way, but it certainly isn't for children. And there are lots of trigger warnings in this series because it does cover very heavy topics of conversation. including sexual assault and stuff like that. So please be careful reading this. I have read Lore Olympus 3 times, but this year was the first time that I was able to read the entire series because they finished it in June of 2024. And it was the most wonderful few days that I've spent reading in a long time. Because it's a visual medium, you're getting the pictures and the story, and you're reading the dialogue and everything, and you're really creating like a movie in your head. I love comic books. I love manga. And so this webtoon was that partially is on paper, right? I was reading 2 of those books a day. Partially on paper, and then the rest was online. I was devouring it, and I love it. I love that relationship. I love the way that it unfolds. I love her idea and take on the myths. It's fantastic. And then lastly, because the sun is about to hit me in the face, a local to my town, her name is Rachel too. That's a Rachel Smythe. And this is a Rachel too. This is Rachel Quirk. This author was a writer for BG3 as well. So if you're into video games, she did a lot of writing, and it's very D&D style. Her trilogy came out this year, and this book series, which I finished, is about a young woman who gets trapped in the body of a video game character in an arcade machine, and how she's going to get out, how she's going to get to the real world. What is she going to do? So it starts with Calamity, it goes to Desecrate, and then to Divinity. These are also very heavy. This is the first edition. I'm flabbergasted at this series. I really love it. I think that anybody who likes fantasy and video games would really like this. If you're not really into video games, you mightn't appreciate it's a lit RPG. So if you don't know what lit RPG is, it's okay. Try it out. It's incredible. But lit RPG is basically like where you're reading a book about D&D. And it's not so far into the lit RPG genre that it is just basically a video game in itself. It's very beginner friendly for the lit RPG genre, but it's incredible, and I really enjoyed reading it. The first book I read within 24 hours, and the other 2 I really savored, but that is an incredible series, and I cannot wait to see her next series, and I think she has one coming out either this year or next year, but I am willing to reread that. Different types of mythological creatures that don't exist in other fandoms or other places. Never heard of them before if they do exist. And really wonderful backstories for characters that are second and even third, like behind the main character, where it's not the main character, it's the secondary characters, the tertiary characters. They all have a wonderful background story that you get to find out about. It's not exposition. It's not exposition told through dialogue, which is really important to me. I hate it when characters have to explain themselves in dialogue. and their motivations and dialogue unless it actually works in the scene and it doesn't feel like dumping all that information on you, you know? Awesome series. Really enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything I read this year except the second half of the Neverending Story, which honestly, I should have listened to the reviews because I did read some reviews and genuinely most of them were saying 3 stars. Because when you get to the end of Bastian's journey to the childlike empress, after that it just it turns into a whole different story. It turns into a different book altogether. It's like it had nothing to do with the first part. It's it takes a really long time to feel like you understand the motivations of the main character at that stage, and it made me really dislike him. And sometimes that can be a really good quality in a book, like where you really dislike the main character, but because you liked him so much in the beginning, it was really difficult to get into the second half. And for that reason, I think I gave it 2 stars. It felt all over the place. So yeah. All right, that is my update. Hello. We are finished. The sun is now coming into my face, so I must say goodbye. I hope that you liked this video. It took me a long time to be able to get everything together. It's still not done exactly the way I wanted it to, but it's better done than never done. And I hope you will forgive my out of practiceness. If you would like to find me on all the other places I am on the internet, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is where I post more cross stitch, but I know that some people prefer Facebook. I am on Blue Sky now, that I don't really post there, I'll be honest. I'm not a Twitter person, never was, but who knows? Who knows? I have a Patreon where you could choose to support me if you would like to see like behind the scenes life in Ireland. I do post weekly vlogs there. And you could choose if you would like to join us for monthly live streams where we could talk together one-on-one basically. But that's up to you. I'm also on Twitch, and Twitch is a platform where I go live. I do not go live on YouTube. I find it lots of reasons why I don't go live on YouTube, but I don't really go live on YouTube. But if you'd like to join me on Twitch, it's free. All you have to do is press the follow button. It is free, and it'll notify you when I go live. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Oh, and I have a website as well where I de-stash things if you would like to check it out. I'm going to be taking down my website this year. So yeah, if you want to get a discount on something that I have that I'm willing to send, please check it out. But there's no pressure, of course. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee. That money will go towards fully finishing, framing my beautiful pieces that I'm going to finish this year, namely Miss Cherry Blossom, definitely getting framed. And but there's no pressure. I just appreciate you watching the videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, it's free, and ring the bell so that you get notified when I do eventually come out with a new video. It'll pop up in your notifications on the side of your either your mobile device or on your computer on youtube.com. So thank you so much for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week and a good period of time until I see you again. Please take care and stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.